Okay, hey everybody. I am on my way to Murphy, Texas, where I'm going to attempt to get some food delivery orders. And I'll do it for health insurance purposes only, because I live in Texas and I want affordable health care, and I have to prove to the government that I can earn a certain amount. Well, that's kind of difficult. Anyway, so this is what I have to do. That's the very short version. Okay, but anyway, it's cloudy today, so hopefully it'll be a good day. It was supposed to be kind of hot, but with all the cloud cover and everything, it shouldn't be. And I want to see, but I usually go to another place, Allen, Texas, but I noticed lately that any of the offers I get there, and I'm finally getting offers again during the noon hour, that any of them that I get out there, they're going to businesses, which makes sense, you know, people are at work and such. But the way they show up on the map, GPS, no, I wouldn't go to any place like that, because it doesn't have any. It might have a name of a business near there, but it's like way far in the back, and there's nothing there. There's no building there, anything. And of course it could be, you know, something on whatever floor or whatever. And I'm thinking, I'm not going to want to spend all my time trying to find these people in these places. And Adam had even told me, you know, like one was a municipal court or something like that. Municipal, you know, some kind of government building, and trying to find a parking space right, you know, would not be easy. That's what he was telling me too. And I was saying, yeah, you know, to me, it's not really worth delivering to people's workplaces, you know, or any of that, because the experiences I've had so far, that's just me, I'm not telling you what to do, might be different where you are, but the experience I've already had was pretty bad so far, several of them. And just trying to find the people, that's the big thing, you know, or they're in a locked facility and they don't think about that. I can't get in, and there's nobody up front, you know, up front wherever that is. I've had several of those, and you know, so I contact them. Sometimes they don't answer. Sometimes one of them, it was so bad. It was the GPS was going crazy. I call it a campus. I called it then the campus. And it was really weird to me. It wasn't a university. It may have been some kind of like institute, you know, like for some kind of computer stuff. I don't know. And they had actually apartments there. The apartments were strange too. Oh man, well, they're strange. They looked like really thick. They looked like jail cells in a way, but closed in with concrete. It was so weird. And then I've seen one since then like that. But the GPS kept going crazy because it couldn't find the building, and I called support, and they said, well, you're responsible for finding it. And I said, how am I going to find it? Don't they all use the same kind of same GPS? The GPS wasn't telling me go here, go there, go around in circles, all this stuff. Okay. Make them make sense somehow, some way, please. Please, can they ever make sense? So, really now. Anyway, so whatever they had to do, they had to do. But I mean, what? I'm going to use something special. I'm going to find something special. I'm going to have a map on me. That's right. Okay, just for the record, you just trust me on this. There was no way I would have been able to find that, even if I had an actual map. Okay, it was so strange the way they had this. It's kind of like a building plopped right in the middle of nothingness. But so the roads, I've seen the same map. I don't use anymore, but the same one, the same service would. It would label. I don't know how they do it. I really don't. But it was label things as not roads. When, okay, what is it then? See what I'm saying? Oh my goodness, this car pulled out from pharmacy. Look how fast they're going. I'm going 2 miles over the speed limit. Look how fast they're going. Really? Look at them. Seriously. Wow. Anyway, we have had the worst year for pollen, I think. And I had a little bit of an allergy attack. But mostly I lose my voice, man. So I really do. It's been months now. I think the whole year we've had, you know, I get on the Weather Channel, it has what the pollen count is, and each day, that day, it will say very high. The next 2 days, it usually says high. Not very high, but high. There's a difference. But once that day comes around to, you know, tomorrow comes around, it's back to very high. And the next 2 days, we're saying high. Only one time was it just high. That's it. But it's the pollen count. Oh my goodness, it's been bad. I guess it's what, grass, weed, and something else. I don't know. Tree, I don't know. But anyway. What was I talking about? That one place, yeah. I mean, I've had several, you know, instances when that one app that all that kind of stuff happened to. It was a mess all around. So many things were wrong with it, and I quit using it. I refused to use it, and I haven't since. And that was since November of last year. They did me wrong, and I said that day I'm not going to use this unless they make it right. They made it worse. Well, that day I quit using it. Sometimes you got to stand firm. And all the stuff I hear about that app now, I'm like, oh my goodness. I got out when getting out was good. You know? Didn't get addicted to it like some people seem to be. Okay, strike that comment. But really, anyway, why did I get started on this topic? Oh, but I'm gonna go out, and I wanted to see how I'm losing my voice. It goes that fast, man. But I've mentioned in the past these people, I call these fleet people. And at first, you know, I wasn't calling them that, but they drive old, beat up, kind of, well, they've obviously been in a wreck. Four-door, you know, sedans, gray silver sedans. Usually they have the right hubcap, passenger side hubcap off, and they're old. By the way, there's also a medication I take for blood pressure that Adam said his mother used to take, did the same thing to her. So I got a combination going on. I was having this problem before. Anyway, before the medication. So anyway, but I mentioned a lot about them. I would see them at places. I eventually started calling them a fleet people. They seem to me, this is my own little theory, only view, it's not really a theory, but is that they belong to some kind of fleet, because it was the same make. At first I didn't think so, and I did see a couple of times that they had a different make. Isn't it what it's called? The brand these days. Or would it be the brand? Anyway, of car, you know, like I said, four-door sedan, or sedan, a gray silver sedan. I didn't know that sedans were four-door cars. So hey, learn something new every day. But anyway, and the people in them, the cars looked really old, really cheap, you know, like I said. And, oh, you know, the people that got out of them, and they were delivering, picking up whatever, wherever, and they just didn't match. They looked more like upper middle class, and they're driving these cheap things, you know, no, didn't match at all. And they were all, I would say, kind of like in their 30s. Now, overall, I think that would be the average age group. But as time went by, I saw more and more. You know, they would go to the same places I go to sit and wait to see if I get any offers. And they finally spread to this area, which I thought was mine for a while. Not really mine, but I didn't have to worry about too much competition. And then they came and they basically took over, and it's been months now, and on I talked about that, spoke about that. But they seem to have disappeared. They really did, you know, for like maybe 2 weeks now. And I was thinking that maybe because, you know, the students and all this, teachers and all this, out for the summer. Anybody who's out for the summer can legally work, legally and contractually. You should not have gotten that fact. Come on, seriously, people, really? Man, the amount of people who just don't care, and if they cause anybody problems, they break rules, it's just unbelievable. Anyway, because once again, I'm driving the speed limit myself, and yeah, everybody has to go faster. Anyway. Okay, and by the way, usually I wave at them as I pass them by at the light. Because you know these lights are, these things are in sync. And you may pass somebody, but they're probably going to catch up with you at the light. Okay? Unless you are, I mean, you have to be going extremely fast for some people not to catch up with you. Okay, anyway, man, my voice, this is unbelievable. But anyway, so this whole thing with the fleet people, I have so many stories about them, some I never told, but it turns out, to sum up this part of it, they were rude. They were extremely rude people. Now, you have extremely rude people, fleet. They get all these good offers, good orders. They go out there rude to other people. I see them in the place that one had been rude to me. And I see how they behave all around, that they are superior, that it's all about them. They park right in the middle of the road. I mean, right in the middle of their lane, park right there to get out and deliver. One did. Right in front of me. Just stopped, parked. And had stopped, got out. I'm like, whoa. You know, more than once had I been to deliver and they were there too, or came up after me, or came up before me. And like the funeral one time, I was on the right side, that one was on the left, got in front of me in between the last vehicle in the funeral, pushing people. Come on, how unbelievable. You know, just, it was all about them, you know? All about them. And then those parked in the handicap, and that one at the funeral thing, not at the funeral, but the whole situation was still there at that person's house. And they were getting all these big orders. How bad would that be for business? Driving an old vehicle too, and parking like that, you know, the old stereotype of taxi drivers. You know, that's an old stereotype of taxi drivers. And, you know, stereotypes are never good. But, I mean, unbelievable. They're just their behaviors overall. And, so my question, you know, since I've stopped seeing them is, did they do any damage? Seriously, their behaviors, what they're driving. I'm not trying to be a snob, but if I saw an old clunker of a car parked in the wrong attitude problem all combined together, you know, delivering my stuff, I said, I'm not going to use that service anymore. You see what I'm saying? Okay, but no, it's not really the old clunker of a car. It's the combination. With the whole attitude and everything. I mean, I can only imagine what they would, if they had to do anything with the customer and they had to wait for, you know, while the customer found out what is the PIN or something like that. And they had to wait, how they would have such bad attitudes. Because, you know, people who park in what's always been, that I've known, called handicap parking spots that do not have a handicap sticker, and they're not handicapped. Am I saying that right? You know, I have somebody in my family, and he says, it's not handicapped, it's challenged. It's up to them, you know? And, anyway, so every time I say that, I think about that. But anyway, So I think they more did damage. Just my way of seeing it. I could be very wrong, but maybe they get there faster and people don't care. They want their food faster. I just can't see that. I really honestly can't. Not in this county. This is a very wealthy county, and I think image means a lot to a lot of people. I'm not going to be judgmental about if that's good or bad, but I think that that's a thing. And then when somebody coming up with the attitude problem, to them it would be more of a, see, I'm not one, I will say this, I'm not one to play the whole thing of totem pole game. But if they go to somebody's house and that person is the customer who's paying and they have an attitude problem, they would be thinking this person doesn't know their role in this whole thing. You don't come up with an attitude, you know. I can only imagine them probably demanding tips. It's just my my speculation, but the whole attitude I personally witnessed, and like I said, more than one was rude to me, but they seem to be rude to anybody there. You know, like they're first, you know. Oh, hold on a minute, I'm here, I'm standing here. Do you not see me? One that doesn't have a filter. I don't think I've had to say that yet. You know, So, okay, where was I? I just pulled over. I had delivered behind me, not right there down that road. Down 2 roads, I don't know how many. Do you do that? Do you not remember how many roads, especially if it's in a neighborhood like this where they go around? Oh my goodness, they twist and turn just like mine. And, yeah, basically take you all over the place. I wonder if I'm going to get across this way here. I don't come down this road that much. I know where it is. I used to, this is where I would come in. But not anymore. Anyway, I was talking about those fleet people, and while I was talking, I turned it off, and this woman drove up to me, and there's the Walmart I go to, yeah, one of them. So anyway, this woman, this happens to me too much. Okay, now if I want to sound really like conspiracy theorist, but not really, this actually does happen, and but the way I look at it from there, is it right or is it wrong? You know, it might sound too suspicious to me, from me, or too suspicious of what is happening. Depends on how you see these things. Okay, what does it say, South Fork? Is that South Fork? Yeah, wait a minute. I don't think it's this road. Anyway, it's out here. I just don't think it's that road. My goodness, really, these allergies, I'm telling you. But anyway, I saw those, I didn't know if they were kids or not. It looked like adults when I passed. Anyway, I was talking about that. Then this suspicious thing happened, like I'm trying to say, and it has happened too many times, and I've had it on video, shown it on video. I don't know if it was on this before, but there was a woman, and that drove by in her car, and that's this big parking area. I mean, huge. It just goes on and on and on. And the people will drive up and park right next to me. I mean, like, either the very next one or the one over, something like that. That close. When they had that whole thing, I know all about herd mentality. Trust me. I made plenty of videos about it over 9 years. Oh, yeah. But the parking lots is one of those. But this one, when she got around, like, pretty much in front of me where I could see, she had her cell phone with her in her right hand, holding it up and pointing it toward me, my car, my SUV, all the way around till she parked. She was doing that. I mean, think about it. Her hand stretched as far out as it could, pointing it toward me and my SUV. I went, oh, this is too freaky. So I left, and it's a good thing I left because I got a really, really good order. I mean, for me, for this area, for how long has it been? Since, I mean, I can't say it's like $100 something. No, it was $10. right at $10 for 2 miles. Yeah, I'd say that's a good one. For here it is. That is a good one. Seriously. How many times can I say that? But anyway, just what weirded me out about it so much was, besides that she was doing that, is that this has happened so much, and what happens around that time is all of a sudden any offers I get that are really good, zap, I mean, they pop up and they pop off just as quickly. And I'd actually called, the one that I called that time, I don't know which one it was, which service it was that time, but I think it may have been Uber Eats. And I called and they said, no, you canceled us. And no, I didn't. That's the whole thing. I don't cancel them. I don't get a chance to see them. And then we're like, oh, really? Yeah. We'll send it to the tech department. Did they have a tech department? No, that was the other one, did. I don't know. But anyway, and that's what happens. And they just disappear. You know, they used to be on the other one. It was the other app that I don't discuss. I don't mention the name. It would do it once I took the order. I got the offer. I took it as an order, and then all of a sudden it disappears. And they said, "Well, you canceled." No, I don't. Okay, somebody knows how to work the system, and that has made me curious. For like, I've been doing this for a year now, and that's made me curious for the past couple of months, because that's when it started. Somewhere in the past few months, it started happening. People would drive. I'd be sitting in the parking lot, and somebody would drive up with their phone and get real close to my SUV. Now, I don't know if there's anything that could possibly be behind it, but it's happened last year twice, but inside the stores, and then once earlier this year inside of a restaurant. And they get real close with their phone. You know, they put their phone as close as they can to their phone, to my phone. And that, I'm pretty sure, can happen. It can change, you know, some kind of information swap. And I think that's what it's called, isn't it? And then that happened, and then the next thing I know, there's some weird thing wrong with my order. Like, it had a burrito, and the burrito was gone. It just left me with chips and stuff, cookies on mine. And then the guy said, "Oh, well, since you're already here, you know, you take it." Well, apparently he must have thought that I was going to deliver his order for him too. And he had this big grin, like he just found a sucker, you know, all over his face. Well, that's probably still sitting there. I canceled mine, and I wasn't about to deliver his anyway, you know. I mean, what's this? Since you go ahead and take the order. No, it's on your phone, dude. It's on your account. I'm not delivering for you. You might as well hang that up. You know, like I said, he really thought he found a sucker. So, okay, where was I? It's about 30 minutes. I don't know how long later. I'm watching these cars. But anyway, I need to backtrack a little bit. Earlier today, Adam and I went, it was around 10 o'clock, we went to get a breakfast, you know, each a breakfast burrito. And also one for his niece. Anyway, we went there. I give attention, pay too much attention to detail. Or reporting it. Anyway, and while we were there, he was outside. He was smoking a cigarette. I don't let anybody smoke in my SUV. And he was standing outside the restaurant smoking, and this car drove up, and it was actually a, I would just say it was a small SUV. I don't know, that was pretty small, but it was the shape of an SUV at least. I don't know what they're called. I'm not into cars. I'm not into autos, vehicles, whatever you want to call them. So he was pointing at me, trying to get my attention, and he, you know, to show me to look at it. And the guy went inside, and the guy had his cell phone holding like we do, walking in the restaurant looking at it and all this. And I looked at it. It wasn't an old one. It was a new one. The ones I talk about, they're always old. Okay. But it was the same make. And it was the same color. They're most often silver gray. Silver or gray, that kind of color. And so the guy came back out and he was holding one, you know, and it was obvious he was doing it on his cell phone, you know, all that, and checking the address and doing the whole thing. I've seen it, and I've done it so many times. And I thought, you know, no, that's just too new. It just looks too new, because, like I said, they were old. And I watched him as he backed off and he went the other direction. And instead of having a license plate, he had a license sticker, whatever they're called. And like I said, I am not into autos, so I don't know all the names for everything. Plus, everything changes, you know what I'm saying? Not a sticker. What was it called? Oh, it's just paper license plate. See, now that one over there that just passed, I would suspect. What does it have on the back? That looks more like a police thing. Yeah. Anyway, but I looked at it. Yeah, they had just bought it. The guy had just bought it, I would assume. But I've been thinking maybe that was the case, because I started seeing more new small vehicles hang out at the other place that I go to do these. Somebody's car's going off. And I was already pulling off, and sure enough, somebody come and drove right behind me. All these parking spots. Herd mentality, let me tell you. And there was some woman driving. It could have been one of those. You never know. But if I wanted to be all, you know, suspicious of everything, yeah, I would wonder about somebody driving up so close to me in that whole area with her phone stretched out, with her arm, you know, in her hand, and her arm fully out to make sure she got me. I mean, there was nothing else there but me and my SUV. So why would she be videoing my SUV? And having heard, I mean, I don't even know where I heard. I didn't hear from anybody like any YouTuber who was doing delivery. I don't even remember where I heard. It may just be that I saw it on my phone that you can swap. Like if I wanted to swap with Adam. But I would think I would have to push something. He would have to push something or click on something or whatever you want to call it these days, and to swap. Wouldn't I? I mean, if somebody wants to take something off of my phone and put it on theirs, I would have to give them permission. Or are these hackers, I know, what are they going to call it these days? I had my first computer in 1982. Let me tell you, the names for these things change so much. You know, what you would call hacking, and then they call it this, and they call it that, and they call it another thing. Oh, the AI, the bot. Wait a minute, aren't those the same thing? See? But anyway, now if I wanted to be all suspicious, I would be suspicious of that when somebody drives who also is doing, you know, who has a cell phone and wants to get near you and is holding their cell phone out towards yours. Okay, mine was sitting right here, as you see, you know, on the dash. So that's why I'm using my cell phone. Suspicious. It would be suspicious. And that could happen. That's not really the way people put conspiracy theories. So, okay, so I'm sitting here, and one of them came in. It was a good one, and all of a sudden, boom, gone. Just what I was just talking about. Yeah, thinking I need to maybe, what I always do, you know, when I get to a new area, I usually reset my phone. You'll power completely down and then power up again. I don't know where I got that. It was my own. I just did it one day and said I gotta clear it because nothing was coming in, and then since then I've been doing it. But yeah, then whenever that kept happening, like it just happened yet again. It was a good one. I don't remember. It was good. I think it was something like, It was less than 2 miles, and I think it was, oh my, don't want to lie. It just irked me because what I was doing, I was looking to see if it's a house, and boom, it was gone. I don't think I touched it, and I don't think it was a trip radar. So that was on Uber Eats. I do mention Uber Eats. Yeah, that's annoying. Anyway, okay, I try to fix the mount, but as usual, it's not going to do right, and it's probably gonna jump now. Oh well. But I left from there. I mean, come on, it's 1:34, and that's the thing I don't like. I prefer going there. Okay, but once the fleet people started going there, and I saw them in droves, you know, it just got all ruined, and now that this keeps happening every time I go there, all of a sudden, poof, I could always find another place to park. I know. Where though? I have actually considered parking in neighborhoods. Seriously, see what would happen, because this kind of thing. I mean, I'm suspicious about it. I admit it, but at the same time, I think, you know, I don't know enough anymore about the ways people hack and stuff like that. It's changed so much, you know, over the years. Like I said, even the terminology is different. But I would think that there would be people who could do that, who could abuse that system too. You know, of sharing from what's on somebody else's phone. I don't know how that would work as far as, you know, all of a sudden zap, it's gone. I know how long. I've done plenty of orders to know how long, like on Uber, it would, how long I could wait to find out what I want to find out. How fast I have to do it, and it's like I just look and all of a sudden it's gone, boom. You know, and that's not any fun. Like I say, I could learn to hide myself. Wow, but see, that's it. To me, all this kind of stuff, no matter what app it's on, by the way, but all this kind of stuff, it's just like, I don't want to be that suspicious. No, wait, that's not the right way to say it. It sounds like it could go either way. I don't want to be that, you know, cynical. I don't want to be that suspicious of other people. I don't want to think so much about every app that you use. There's going to be something, somebody could do this and do that. But you have to be, in a way, you have to be well aware. If you're going to do this, you got to be well aware of what people can do. Possibly. I mean, somebody should investigate and see, can that kind of sharing between cell phones, and what could they do? I mean, really, how far could they go with that? But at the same time, you don't want to tell anybody, because you say somebody's going to say, oh, I'm going to do that, and they go and do that. Hopefully they go to jail and do not pass go, do not collect $200. Yeah, you know, there's people who do that kind of stuff. I mean, you hear about so many different scams. You can even read them, you know, online. They talk about this scam on that app, or this scam on that. You know, there's always these people who are doing, I say always, but I'd say 99% of the time on anything where somebody can do it, it's going to be done some way, somehow. That's what my experience in life. That is sad too. It's a sad thing. I mean, there was once upon a time, you know, when people weren't doing crazy things with, you know, food and such, and the people who were the bad people didn't make the good people have to pay for it too. You know, like, there was actually a time that you didn't need scissors to open up a pack that contained scissors. Have you ever seen anything like that? I have. I actually have. Oh man, it you know, like of course it could be something else that was sharp, but really just to get scissors about out of their package. They put that hard package on it. Impossible just to open. Really thick cardboard. You have to have scissors to open up you know, your new scissors. Get them out of the container. Or whatever they call that now. I'm serious. I'm stuck on this thing of whatever they call it now. At 61 years old, I've seen so many things Just change. The names just change. Well, it worked just as fine the way before. And you know what? Sick meant sick. Bad meant bad. So, okay, I'm getting silly.